Hello there, I am KJ from KJ Paints. I am doing a series of small canvases today. I've got 4, I believe they are 5x7 canvases, and then I've got the world's tiniest flip cups. So I'm doing a bunch of different colors. I got Pyro Red here from Liquitex Basics. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've got Brilliant Yellow and Brilliant Red to make orange from Loft. Just don't have an orange. I have Brilliant Yellow for the yellow. I've got Light Green Permanent from Liquitex Basics. I've got Brilliant Blue from Liquitex Basics. And I have Dioxazine Purple mixed with a little bit of white from Liquitex Basics. All of my paints are mixed about 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint with water to thin, except the one I just showed you was the Flow Acrylic from Loft in a squeeze bottle. It's a little bit less Floetrol and water just because it's a thinner paint, but it is very convenient. I definitely recommend it for a large bottle of white. I'm about to start layering my cups here. So I'm going to start with just a bit of white in each cup, and then I'm doing 2 colors plus white for each cup. So I've got orange and yellow in this first one. Flip it. You might have noticed the tape. I'm doing my plan was to do stenciling and then do the flip cup on top of the stencil. I'm doing orange and red in this one, but I just couldn't find a stenciling material that was going to work with what I had around. So now I'm doing blue and purple, as you can see. So I just decided to tape off large chunks of it so I wouldn't have to stretch the paint all over the whole canvas. That ends up kind of messing me up later, but that's what I decided to try to do. I think I would have done it differently if I had to do it again. But I guess my thought process was that I don't really like to do a flip cup and then have all this beautiful cells and lacing in different colors all over the canvas and then cover it up with a bunch of white paint to get the stencil effect that I want. So yeah, I was trying to like minimize that. It's probably just a hang up that I need to get over. So here we go with the flipping. I'm just torching these to get rid of air bubbles. There's no additives in these for cell formulation. It's just the Liquitex and the paint reacting. And then we got my green and blue here. This one didn't come out that great. Maybe there was too much green and not enough blue. I'm not sure. So I ended up just doing a little bit of blowout on it just to try to get a little bit more variation of color, but I don't know that it really worked out that great. It turned out okay though. Little torch. There we go. Now that part is done, or just about done here. Just decided to change a little bit more on that. Now that part is done, and we'll move on to the next step. So this is them dry with the tape taken off, and I've drawn my stencil, or what I'm calling stencils, the images that I'm going to be painting around. I'm using the Flow Acrylic with a little bit of Floetrol mixed in to start my painting. I then later changed to just straight paint because it was going on way too thin. So this first one, you might not be able to see, but it's a seahorse. This one is a conch shell. I touched the paint when it was still wet and it made a little dimple, and I'm so upset. There's a dolphin in my purple, and then there's a sea turtle, which you cannot really see on the green. There isn't enough contrast, but you'll see as we go. So I've just got this thin paintbrush that I got, and then this bigger one for bigger chunks of the areas, but the thin one is my favorite paintbrush. It gives me so much control. But I can also lay it flat a little bit to get a little larger areas as well. I'm just speeding you through here as I do the seahorse. Oh, I should have held that up to show you the end product, but you'll see later. So it's my turtle. Later I was thinking that I should have done maybe green and brown for the turtle, but for the series I think it works. Seashell turned out really pretty. I love the orange and yellow. Dolphin didn't turn out as great. Part of the problem was that the dorsal fin there on the top, there was just too much white in that section of paint. Oh, so there we go. That's all 4 of them all together. I did a few more coats, obviously. You can still see the areas underneath, so they might need a bit more. They do need a bit more paint at this point. But there you have it. I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Learned a few things.